Lakesha Burton is on the line.
Good.
Lakesha Burton, good morning. Thanks for listening to the
morning,
show.
Melissa. Yes, I love your show. Good morning. I just wanted to touch on what Councilwoman DeFore said. Listen, integrity is one of the most important qualities that we need in a sheriff. And again, if you listen to all the lies and half-truths and the division that a lot of the commercials and the information has been pushed out is doing, it only continues the divide within the agency and our community. And as far as Ken Jefferson, I made a promise from the start of my campaign that I would not make any deals, no promises, and nor will I align with anyone. And when I met with Ken after the primaries for lunch, his deal was, Keisha, I will support you if you will make me your number 2, which would have been the undersheriff. And I said, absolutely no. So there you have it. So 12 days to go. This is one of the most important elections in decades, and I will lead with integrity every single day. Thank you.
Well, let me ask as a follow-up. So you told Ken Jefferson, who endorsed your opponent, you would not promise him anything in exchange for his endorsement. At the same time, you mentioned negative ads on television. Do you believe that your opponent is telling lies about you on the television airwaves when it comes to your background?
Absolutely. And we have to be concerned when I provided proof that they were inaccurate and then they doubled down. Melissa, they're just trying to create fear and fool the voters. And I think that if he's going to lie on the campaign trail, he's going to lie when he gets in office. And then when you look at all the stuff that's coming out with the culture of his agency, with these officers, with the racial comments and stuff, these officers have been working in his chain of command for years, and he's never addressed the issue. So he's never addressed it now. He's not going to address it later, and then we will not change the culture of this police department.
And you're referring to JSO investigating a sergeant accused of posting racist messages on social media. Now, to my knowledge, this is the first time the 2 leading candidates for Jacksonville Sheriff are both African American. And so that's of note. You're also the first Black woman in Jacksonville history to run for this office. Let me ask you, if I may, when people go into that voting booth and they're trying to decide between you, and they may not know much about either one of you other than your party affiliation, but they do feel that we need a safer city and a more transparent JSO, why should they choose you over your opponent? What's the biggest difference between you and your opponent in terms of how you'd run this agency?
Well, I think that they just have to look at our proven record. I have a proven record of reducing violent crime and building relationships with our community with JSO. My opponent has a record of not being able to reduce crime. As a matter of fact, violent crime is up 19%. And as far as transparency, my Lord, if the voters are going to accept that a candidate that's running for public office, especially for the sheriff's office, and he will never show up, he'll never talk to the media, he will just only allow his campaign folks to send a correspondence. Is that the type of that you want, or do you want somebody like me that shows up, that answers questions, and is honest about everything that is going on?
Why didn't you go negative against TK Waters in your ads as he did towards you?
Because I have a deep moral compass and because I care about the men and women of this agency and this community. I'm better than that. I'm running on the issues and my platform and what I've done for this community. We deserve better.
And one more question. People that have really pushed for deeper reforms inside JSO have commented that there really isn't a huge difference between you and TK Waters in terms of the changes you'd make. What would you say to those who feel you would not reform the department significantly more than your opponent?
I think that a good example is right now who's speaking out against it. I'll tell you right now, I've been running on number one, a culture change, but culture within this agency for the last 18 months. My opponent will refuse to address that anything's wrong. Matter of fact, he says we're going in the right direction. And if that alone is not enough for people, for that to be red flags, I don't know what it would be.
Lakesha Burton calling into the show, one of the two runoff candidates for Jacksonville Sheriff. Her opponent is TK Waters. We have invited him to appear on this program. He can call in unprompted anytime, too, just like she did. So, Lakesha Burton, thanks for your comments and for calling in.
Thank you. I'll call in when I'm your sheriff as well. Y'all have a good day.